JuJutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 8. Was I only one playing Where is Waldo, or which anime character are they showing? Because I saw Android 18 was hiding in the crowd. Just so you guys are aware, they had a lot of shoutouts throughout this episode. Leave yours in the comments below. Without further ado, let's get this opening going and let's talk about their plan for Satoru Gojo. Alright guys, Brent here back with Geek, where we cover all things Marvel, anime, DC, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and more. And if you're already subscribed to this channel, you know we just finished covering Fiona and Cake last night. Got this today, I'll cover Harley Quinn later on in the day. The views really aren't that much there for it, and the show has been kind of a letdown as it is this season. Personal opinion there. But JuJutsu Kaisen has not been a letdown, and this plan is not a letdown in the slightest. If there's anyone who we know throughout history that can figure out a way to stop Gojo, it's the guy who went on the most missions with him. Who went on the most missions with him? Geto. And now that they've explored that arc in its full entirety, you know, they're both fully aware of what each other can do to the absolute limits. Sure, there's been times apart due to obviously Geto's actions where they have grown apart. And sure, there's time for people to grow. But how much growth is dependent upon the sorcerer. And Gojo tends to be lazy unless he's absolutely pushed. The last time we saw him really grow and really adapt was when we saw him fight Toji. He had to change his whole strategy because he's never been touched before. All of a sudden, he gets a whole knife in his neck, and then next thing you know, he's back at things once more. Now that he's back in action, and it's been some time past, has he made any strides since? Geto is betting no, because the last time Gojo was going to be pushed is going to be an extreme event that all of the Sorcerer world would easily know about. It's not going to be anything crazy. Like JuJutsu Kaisen 0, the movie, may have been the last time Gojo was actually pushed in any way, shape, and form. And even then, you could still tell he was kind of toying around with people and was very, very much holding back, except for how he ultimately dealt with Geto. And now that we have things more drawn out, the prison realm, let's talk about that. There's going to be some spoilers in here, so you need to be very much aware of what I'm about to say next. The prison realm is intended to trap someone within it. It's kind of like an infinite void. Time doesn't pass the same way most things in our world is held by the fabric of space and time. It is outside time, but at the same time, more time can pass or less time can pass dependent upon the user. It usually depends upon how much cursed energy you have, or it depends upon whoever sealed you within the prison realm in the first place. The prison realm has only two ways out. Either you find the back door to the prison realm, or someone ultimately releases you from the prison realm itself where they captured you with that cube. That being said, it is very difficult to get out once you're in, and it can drive people mad. That is part of the plan. They want to push Gojo, who we know is a little bit crazy as it is, to go to that next level of just insanity. And plus, having Gojo trapped, name the next strongest sorcerer. That's a trick question. Most of you who have watched this show, now there's a huge drop off because you're like, well, Toji was about here, Gojo's about here, Geto's just there, Mahito's about here, and then we have all of this where they haven't explained Mai properly. They haven't covered everything involving Yuta and Rika. We still don't know where Yuji falls on this list. There's a lot of characters that need to be fleshed out that within this arc, you're going to get a definitive ranking because, well, we're going to lose some people throughout this arc. Things are going to get bad. I'm not telling you who, I'm not telling you when. Things will get bad throughout this arc. And now that we have the prison realm plan in place and Gojo is surrounded by civilians, he's not able to just do infinity, game over, all three spirits just automatically wiped off the board. Because Gojo could take all three of these cursed spirits in his sleep. This isn't walk in the park for him. This is an every other day thing. We saw what happened last time he fought Mount Fuji Head, as Yuji would have called him. It was a clear, clean wipe, popped his head off, and it was like, boom, I'm done with him. I'm just kind of bringing Yuji out because this is a field trip. This is a walk in park for me. I can do this in my sleep. I am that guy. And by having that guy trapped in a world where he's not able to fully use red, fully able to use blue, therefore not able to use purple, and now he can't use his infinite just trap on everyone with his domain inspection, things are going to be crazy because now he has to fight these 3 guys for real while trying to minimize civilian casualties while there's a whole nother plan in place to get him stuck, trapped, sealed, and out of the picture. Because if you're going to advance an evil plan, no offense, I want the strongest member of the opposite side already wiped off the board before we push forward with this. Think of like the movie The Godfather. When Don Corleone was shot and put in the hospital, he was the strongest member of that family and he was completely wiped out. Therefore, everyone else was allowed to do what they wanted to do and execute it without having to have someone on their intellect, on their power level, on their strength level, right there with them. Imagine you watch, say, Dragon Ball Z. Cell kills Goku, say, early on. Say that happened. It's not what happened, but we'll say that's what does happen. Because of that happening, who's next? Who's gonna pop up and be your next biggest threat? Vegeta? We know Vegeta's strengths and weaknesses. He lets everyone power up for I don't know what reason. And his pride has always been his Achilles heel, and he always has his left arm broken. I don't know why. It just is the way that it is. No one would have guessed that Gohan would have made the jump that he did. So therefore, that plan still wouldn't have worked out. But with Gojo, he is 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. You get the picture all throughout the alphabet. He is the guy. If he's off the board, the Jujutsu Sorcerer world is going to be reeling. Because remember, he talks back to every single higher up, and there are no consequences. You think they haven't thought at some point in time, if we got all of us together and jumped him, that we could make him maybe pay attention, maybe make him listen to what we have to say? I'm sure these thoughts have crossed their mind. But Gojo is still walking free to this day. And there's no one they trust more to handle business than Gojo. So to have a plan to call out Gojo specifically, and as so far is going off swimmingly, things are going to be crazy. And you know, I didn't really mention Mai Mai too much. Mai Mai is bad. You're going to like her a lot once she's fully explained more properly for each and every person. And Yuji, you've clearly seen his jump. He would have gotten destroyed by Cricket last season. This season, put hands on him. Easy 1, 2, 3 wombo combo. 1, 2, 3 3-piece and a soda. Sent him on his day. Everything was perfect. Everything went as it should. And now, here's what I leave you with. How do you think this will go? Will Gojo get trapped in the prison room? Will he not? If you know, because you read ahead, like me. Don't drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that simple like, dislike, or if you learned something new today, hit that lovely red subscribe button. Greatly helps us out. And I greatly appreciate you for helping me out because Fiona and Cake last night went to 1 a.m. I got work in the morning. Now I got this. And then I still have Harley Quinn later today. I look forward to seeing you guys for each and every show. But man, sometimes your boy gets tired. I'll see you in the next one.